What's up, everybody? It's Make It Make Sense. And I told you guys that I would keep you updated because I knew that there would be more lawsuits coming down the pike, and it has already happened. Plus, I've been looking at old Cassie interviews, and there's a lot of things that were very unsettling. So we're going to talk about it, but we're going to start with this lawsuit. So like the video as the intro plays because we got a lot to get into.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense. I want to make it make one.
Big moves. Surfer.
Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
I remember when Candy Hair used to look like this. I fly above. I fly above. I fly. No, that want you? No, I fly above.
Okay, y'all. So if you guys don't know who Harve Pierre is, if you ever saw Making the Band, he's always been with Diddy. It's actually one of his closest friends. They went to Howard together. I want you guys to hear, Diddy kind of singing his praises when he named him Bad Boy President. So,
Young ladies and young men for a long time, we all like related brothers and sisters. We came up in this game together. You know what they doing here at Army Live with Shanti and E is really, really fly. But we have something to celebrate. Something. I've had a cat that's been down with me for 20 years, and we put out the press release today. That he has become president. It's my man, and I think we should toast his black excellence.
Okay, so y'all are asking why I'm not showing the video. Well, I don't know what happened to one of my videos, but one of my Surviving Diddy videos got taken down and demonetized. Typically, a video will get demonetized and you can still play it. They removed it. So I don't know what happened there, but if you are a content creator and you're trying to cover these stories, be very aware that we're talking about very powerful people. So, like I said, all these things are alleged in my opinion, but I can already tell you that one of my videos was taken down. And I follow the rules, and I'm one of the nicer ones. So just FYI.
Hold on, it's very important to say this though. Not as only he been made the president, he's also got an equity stake in Bad Boy. He's rolling for a long time, and he also has his own production deal on Bad Boy. And I just want to tell him thank you for all of the support over the years. Thank you for working hard. I love you. Like a brother, I'm proud of you. The president, Long live the president, baby. Another round of these Diddy's going out to everybody. It's going to get everybody in the right mood. Trust me. If you want to know what a Diddy is, it's Ciroc and Simply Lemonade. Try that this weekend and tell your friends. Trust me, okay? Trust me, Ciroc and strictly lemonade. Make some noise one more time for Harve Pierre, y'all. You know it's a lot. Great guy. Great guy. Great guy. Great guy. All right, you ready on? I'm going to keep it short, so I'm going to keep it short. But one, I'd like to thank everybody for coming out. I just hope we have a great event tonight, which I know we will. Short time putting it together, but we did our best. It's going to be an incredible night. I'd like to thank Shanti and you, Knicks. And just on the business side, I'd like to thank Sean Combs. He's been my mentor for the last 20 years. Even though I'm a little older than him, I always treated him and look at him like my boss. And he's the eldest boss ever. As I've been working all my career and all my life, I've been making history every day. And the reason that I do that is because I'm dealing with a man that's making history every day. He's an icon. I've been privileged to work with him all my years. He's never isolated me from any type of information or any.
Did he tell you what he was? I don't think he had to isolate y'all because y'all were all protecting him. Just FYI.
He's always nurtured it, cultured it. As we move on, we're going to grow our relationship even stronger and stronger because our relationship is a serious business thing where we don't get to really spend personal time together. Or like he told me a couple months ago, he never gets to chill at my crib or whatever it is because we're always working. That's the reality.
Right there. He said, why don't I get to chill at your crib? Diddy, nobody wants you to come to their personal home, sir, and this is why.
You like this, Daddy.
Yeah, when you put my bag
Daddy, I like when you
put my bag
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, when you put my bag
I like when you like this, Daddy.
Yeah, when you put my bag
Daddy, I
That's
like
why
when
they
you
don't want you at the house.
scrambling this. You like.
That's why they don't want you at their house. This is exactly why they don't want you at their house.
This, Daddy.
Yeah, when you put my bag
Daddy, I like when you
it's right
scrambling
here,
and scraping for
No,
shit.
I
I like
He likes that, y'all.
when you scrambling and scraping for shit every day.
Look back on where I became.
I'm in.
Where I look
His
partying
birthday
with
party.
Puff, man.
Because I'm saying it seems like a thing.
I
It was
miss
his
partying
birthday
with
party.
Puff, man.
Man, but I'm talking about for your birthday.
Huh?
Why won't you party with me for your birthday, man?
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying? Eyes.
There you go. That's why, sir. Okay, so let's get to the serious stuff. I wanted you guys to kind of know who he is, who we're going to be talking about, and that's Harve Pierre. But I will also let you guys hear some interviews that Cassie did, and we're going to get into a couple things. Y'all know deep diving is my thing. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. If you are subscribed, definitely hit that like button. It's a free way to support the channel. But let's get into this lawsuit. So let's see. Another one bites the dust, and I wouldn't be surprised if more come forward. It says Harve Pierre, Bad Boy Entertainment, and it's versus Jane Doe. Please take notice that you are hereby summoned to answer the complaint, a copy of which blah, 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 blah. It says at all times material plaintiff was an adult female resident of the state of New York and employee of defendants. In order to show cases filed concurrently herewith, all the defendants have not consented to plaintiff's use of pseudonym. This action is brought pursuant to the New York Adult Survivors Act. The conduct at issue constituted offenses against an adult in violation of a section within Article 130 or a predecessor statute that prohibited such conduct at the time of the act and resulted in physical, psychological, and emotional injuries, as a civil cause of action was previously time barred prior to November 24, 2022. The terms of the Adult Survivors Act. The action is also brought pursuant to New York City Gender Motivated Violence Protection Law, New York City Administrative Code. The conduct is constituted a crime of violence motivated by gender as defined by, and we're going into that. Here we go. Defendants. Whenever reference is made to any defendant entity, such reference includes the entity, its parent companies, subsidiaries, affiliates, predecessors, and successors. Remember, this guy was the president of Bad Boy Records. Again, we're getting another person accusing these men who were in high positions of power of abusing that power with their employees. Okay, blah, blah, blah. The allegation that the entity engaged in the act, deed, or transaction by or through its officers, directors, agents, employees, or representatives while they were actively engaged in the management, direction, control, or transaction of the entity's business or affairs. At all times, material defendants, Harve Pierre was an adult male resident of the state of New Jersey and the president of Bad Boy Entertainment and Bad Boy Records in New York. At all times, material defendant Bad Boy Entertainment LLC was and continues to be an organization or entity authorized to conduct business and conducting business in the state of New York. At all times, material defendant Bad Boy Records was and continues to be an organization or entity authorized to conduct business and conducting business in the state of New York. She's going after them all. And why not? This is the exact same thing that Cassie did. Combs Enterprises includes but is not limited to the corporation and any other organizations and entities operating as a brand or subsidiary of Combs Enterprises. Defendants Bad Boy Entertainment and Bad Boy Records was and continues to be under direct authority and control of defendant Combs Enterprises. Defendant does 1 through 5 are unknown agents whose entities will be provided when they become known. Jurisdiction. This court has jurisdiction pursuant to as defendants Bad Boy Entertainment's Bad Boy Records and Combs Enterprises, LLC. Principal places of business are in New York, and because the unlawful conduct complained of herein occurred in part New York. Factual allegations. Here we go. At all times material, Harve Pierre was the president of Bad Boy Entertainment and Bad Boy Records. At all times material, plaintiff was an employee of defendants and an assistant to Harve Pierre. Pierre used his position of authority as plaintiff's boss to groom, exploit, and assault her. Pierre engaged in a year-long pattern of grooming plaintiff, leading to harassment of plaintiff and assault. From approximately 2016 to 2017, Pierre assaulted plaintiff on multiple occasions in New York City and other locations throughout the country. Again, we're seeing a pattern here. Same thing with Cassie, where she actually alleged that there was trafficking. Pierre's assaults of plaintiff were in violation of at least one section of New York Penal Law Article 130 or predecessor statute that prohibited such conduct at the time of the abuse. At the time of these assaults, plaintiff was an adult employee of defendants. Pierre committed at least one misdemeanor or felony under New York state law. Defendants enabled, participated in, and or conspired in the commission of these crimes of violence motivated by gender. The crimes against plaintiff perpetuated by Pierre, enabled by the corporate defendants, were based on plaintiff's gender and due to Pierre's animus towards plaintiff's gender. The corporate defendants enabled or participated in the abuse of plaintiff because defendants failed to, among other things, protect plaintiff from a known danger, have sufficient policies and procedures in place to prevent assault. Now, why would this company have policies and procedures in place when the head of the company is allegedly assaulting his girlfriend and, abusing her? I believe, and it's my opinion, that all of these people knew exactly what was going on, and it looks like a good chunk of them were doing similar things. Where is it? Take reasonable measures to ensure that policies prevent assault were working. Train their employees on identifying assault and inappropriate workplace behaviors. Protect their employees from assault and adhere to the applicable standard of care. The corporate defendants enabled or participated in the abuse of plaintiff because defendants failed to timely and properly educate, train, supervise, and or monitor their agents or employees with regard to policies, procedures that should be followed when abuse of a child is suspected or observed. Defendants failed to properly supervise Pierre, properly supervise plaintiff, and protect Pierre from a known danger, and thereby enabled Pierre's assault of plaintiffs. And protect plaintiff from a known danger. So I guess Pierre was the known danger. So are more people going to be coming out? Prior to Pierre assaulting plaintiff, the corporate defendants knew or should have known that Pierre was not fit to be in a position of authority. The corporate defendants, by and through their agents, servants, and or employees, became aware or should have become aware of Pierre's propensity to commit assault and of the risk of the plaintiff's safety. Y'all, I have a feeling some more stuff is about to come out. Wow. At the very least, corporate defendants knew or should have known that they did not have sufficient information about whether or not the leaders, managers, and people were safe to be in positions of power. Corporate defendants knew or should have known that Pierre posed a risk of assault. Corporate defendants knew or should have known that there was a risk of assault to their employees. At the very least, defendant knew or should have known that they did not have sufficient information about whether or not there was a risk of assault to those Pierre had access to through their organizations. Corporate defendants negligently deemed that Pierre was fit to be in a position of authority, president of the company, and that any previous suitable problems Pierre had were fixed and cured, and or that Pierre would not commit acts of assault and that Pierre would not injure others. Moreover, corporate defendants enabled the abuse of plaintiff by actively maintaining and employing Pierre in a position of power and authority through which Pierre had access to people within the organization, including plaintiff, and power and control over people, including plaintiff. Y'all, you can put in the comments, or if you're in the replay game, does this sound like we're going to be hearing some more things? Because they have until basically Friday, and we're getting something almost every day. I already showed you guys the full Cassie complaint. I showed the complaint of L.A. Reid. We talked a little bit about Russell Simmons. Now we're doing the president of Bad Boy. In failing to timely remove Pierre or terminate the employment of Pierre, corporate defendants enabled the assault of plaintiff. Count 1. Plaintiff incorporates all consistent paragraphs of this complaint as full set worth. From approximately 2016 to 2017, defendant Pierre engaged in unpermitted, harmful, and offensive bodily contact upon the person of plaintiff. Plaintiff did not consent to the harmful bodily contact. As a direct and proximate result of foregoing, plaintiff sustained physical, emotional, psychological injuries along with pain and suffering. Plaintiff incorporates all consistent paragraphs of the complaint as if set forth. Plaintiff is a member of Class A persons that administrative code intended to protect. Plaintiff is a victim of a crime of violence motivated by their gender, perpetuated against them by Pierre as alleged herein. Pierre's repeated assaults of plaintiff in New York City constitute crimes of violence and crimes of violence motivated by gender, as defined by New York City's Victims of Gender-Motivated Violence Protection Law. Plaintiff was injured as a result of defendant's conduct in causing, enabling, and participating in the commission of a crime of violence motivated by gender. As a direct and proximate result of the foregoing, plaintiff sustained physical, emotional, psychological injuries along with pain and suffering. Count 3. Plaintiff incorporates all consistent paragraphs. Each defendant owed plaintiff a duty of responsible care to protect the plaintiff from injury. Each defendant owed plaintiff a duty of care as plaintiff's employer. Each defendant owed plaintiff a duty to protect plaintiff from harm because each defendant also had a special relationship with Pierre. Each defendant owed plaintiff a duty to control the conduct of Pierre because each defendant had complete ability to control Pierre's access to individuals like plaintiffs. So she's talking specifically about Bad Boy and the heads of Bad Boy. They had an obligation to protect their employees. And what it's sounding like is Bad Boy, in my opinion, the HR department was possibly not looking or caring or doing their job. Maybe they were pushing paperwork allegedly and not actually protecting their employees. Access to the individuals like plaintiff to prevent the foreseeable harms associated with assault, giving rise to a special relationship with Pierre and a duty to control Pierre's conduct. Each defendant breached its duties to plaintiff. Defendants failed to use ordinary care in determining whether their facilities and people were safe and or determining whether they had sufficient information to present their facilities and people as safe. Defendants' breach of their duties include, but are not limited to, failure to protect plaintiff from a known danger, failure to have sufficient policies and procedures in place to prevent assault, failure to properly implement policies and procedures to prevent assault, failure to take reasonable measures to ensure that policies and procedures to prevent assault were working, failure to investigate risk of abuse. So it's sounding like this person came forward and nothing happened. Like they came forward and it was all brushed under the table because it's the president of the company and powerful men with money are protected. Let's see. Failure to investigate the risk of abuse, failure to properly train employees, failure to have any outside agency test their safety procedures, failure to protect the individuals in their programs from assault, failure to adhere to the applicable standard of care for safety, failure to investigate the amount and type of information necessary to represent the institutions, programs, leaders, blah, blah, blah. Defendants breach their duties to plaintiff by failing to use reasonable care. Defendant's failure includes, but are not limited to, failing to properly supervise Pierre, failing to properly supervise plaintiff, and failing to protect plaintiff from a known danger. Defendants knew or should have known that Pierre was unfit to be in a position of authority. Defendants knew or should have known that there's a risk of assault for those working with the defendant's organization. At the very least, defendants knew or should have known that they did not have sufficient information about whether or not there was a risk of assault. Y'all, this is crazy. This is crazy. Count 5, negligent hiring, training, and supervision. At all times, Pierre was employed by defendant and was under defendant's direct supervision, employ, and control when he committed the wrongful acts alleged herein. Pierre engaged in the wrongful conduct while acting in the course and scope of his employment with defendants and or accomplished the abuse by virtue of his job, created authority and authority given to him by virtue of his affiliation with defendants. Defendants negligently hired Pierre and or negligently placed Pierre in a position to cause foreseeable harm which plaintiff would not have been subjected to had these defendants taken reasonable care. Defendants had a duty arising from their employment of Pierre to ensure that they did not assault women. When the top who's putting them in place is doing it. Like, it all starts from the head, guys. That's why they say you have to cut the head off a snake. If Puffy is allegedly doing it, what do you think that Puffy's number one right hand men are going to be doing? You have like carte blanche to do whatever you want. Further, defendants owed a duty to train and educate employees and establish adequate and effective policies. They didn't. The abuse complained herein occurred in defendant's property or within the use of their chattels. Defendant breached their duties to plaintiff by actively maintaining and employing Pierre in a position of power and authority through which Pierre had access to women, including plaintiff. Defendants were negligent in the hiring and supervision of their employees. Defendants failed to educate, train, and monitor their agents or employees with regard to policies. Defendants were additionally negligent in failing to supervise, monitor, and investigate Pierre. So I really do think that, in my opinion, this woman must have gone to HR. And she said that it happened for multiple times in multiple locations in a year's time. Defendants negligently retained Pierre with knowledge of Pierre's propensity for the type of behavior which resulted in plaintiff's injury in the action. Now, that to me, I'm curious about. Are they saying that they know that there were other instances before 2016 where a woman came forward? Defendants failed to investigate Pierre's past and her current history of assault, and through the exercise of reasonable diligence should have known of Pierre's propensity for assault. So guys, you know me, I deep dive. I'm going to look into this and see if he has any other, like, well, I'm going to have the private investigator pull up the records and see if he has any other instances where he assaulted a woman. An appropriate investigation would have revealed the unsuitability of Pierre for continued employment, and it was unreasonable for defendants to retain Pierre in light of the information they knew they should have known. Defendants negligently hired and retained Pierre in a position where he had access to women and could forcibly cause harm, which Pierre would have not been subjected to, which plaintiff would not have been subjected to had defendants taken reasonable care. Prior to the assault of plaintiff, defendants learned or should have learned that there was a risk of assault to people whom its agents had access to. At the very least, defendants knew or should have known that they did not have sufficient information. Actually, let me look this up right now. Let's see. Harve Pierre arrest record. Let's see. Wait, I do see something. I do see something, guys. It says, y'all know we be getting into some things over here. Why won't it? Let's see. Harve Pierre, the former president of Diddy's Bad Boy Entertainment record, jail on a $500,000 bond following his arrest. Okay, I'm going to look some more into that. Let's finish this, though. Y'all know how these deep dives go. You really, now you're getting to see how my mind works and in real time, like how I go about doing certain things and why I go after certain things. So where is it? Then shout out to somebody who had told me that there is actually a book that was written where the person is now unalived, something I hadn't heard about, hiding in hip hop. We'll get into that a little bit later, but I'm going to buy that book. Another situation where somebody exposed people in hip hop for download type behavior, and now all of a sudden they are unalived and there's not much information. They just started feeling sick and now they're gone. Starts making you think about Jaguar Wright and how she said everybody around is now gone. That person was a executive as well. In failing to properly supervise Pierre and in failing to establish such training procedures for employees and agents, defendants failed to exercise the degree of care that a reasonably prudent person would have exercised. In failing to timely remove Pierre or terminate the employment of Pierre, defendant failed to exercise the degree of care that's reasonably prudent. Prayer for relief. Whereas based on the foregoing causes, plaintiff prays for the judgment against defendants in the amount that will fully and fairly compensate plaintiff for plaintiff's injuries and damages for any other relief the court deems appropriate. The amount of damages sought in this complaint exceeds the jurisdictional limits of all lower courts, which would otherwise have jurisdiction. So this is for an unsecured amount. Let's see. Yeah, definitely everybody hit the like button. It's appreciated. It's a free way to support the channel. We are now on the road to 85K. So definitely hit that like button. I appreciate it. So let's get into a few things. I think we can kind of jump into this since I just showed you guys. This is something that I will be reading, and I'll let you guys know. But as I was reading up on him, and shout out to the subscriber who told me about hiding in plain sight. As I'm reading up on this man, I'm like, okay, I would like to interview him. And then all of a sudden, he's unalived. Terrence Dean, an author, former music industry professional, and later a professor, has passed at 53. He was found after a wellness check to be unresponsive in his apartment, where he was a professor of Black studies. Denison officials state Dean briefly spent time in local hospital saying that he felt unwell. Columbus police did a wellness check this past Thursday and discovered him passed away in his downtown home. Y'all, in 2008, Dean wrote a controversial and successful book about DL men in the hip-hop community and called Hiding in Hip-Hop. In the book, he gave examples of gay and bisexual men in the music industry, but he mentions no names, just events. So guys, y'all know I'm going to be on that. I will be ordering that today, and I will let you guys know what popped off in this book. And y'all know, if you are new to the channel, this is what we do over here. We get into things and we talk about it. So let's get into some of these Cassie things. I've been hearing some interviews that I just I've been deep diving, y'all, and I didn't like it. So let me let you hear this.
She was telling the story that.
So Terrence was a bit nervous, and I told Puff about it, and he said, have him give me a call. So we FaceTimed, and they had their man talk, and he said, make it believable. You guys, this is like going to be a great movie for you.
Why would Terrence need to be nervous? He's doing a movie with Cassie, but that tells you that this stuff was not new. This stuff was known.
And he's proud of us at the end of the day.
Oh, the actor talked to Puff.
Yeah.
So I didn't know you call him Puff.
Yeah, Puff, Sean.
Yeah.
I think everybody has their different names.
Well, he seems like a good guy. I met him once when he was selling Ciroc vodka.
Yes.
He brought a big.
He's a big mogul. By the way, Cassie comes from our area, Connecticut.
Yes, I'm from
Do you still have family there?
I do, in New London. We had a screening last night, and they came to it.
That's nice. All right, you didn't catch Cassie?
Well, I think they.
I guess, some very intimate scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm wondering about the boyfriend, Diddy. In the movie, you have, I guess, some very intimate scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm wondering about the boyfriend, Diddy, whether he came to the set to make sure everything was copacetic with you.
No, he actually really trusted the situation. Him and Terrence spoke beforehand.
Wait.
I don't know why you would have to speak to somebody's boyfriend about filming a scene in a movie. And Cassie was kind of like uncomfortable with the questions. I feel so bad for this lady. I really, really feel bad for this lady. And the more that I deep dive and the more that I see, it's pretty bad. I'm sure you guys have already all seen this, where it's alleged that Diddy allegedly pressured Cassie to get breast implants in 2009, then forced the surgeon to take them out and redo them 1 week post-op because he didn't like the results. Cassie was crying. She was treated like a rat. Shout out to the Neighborhood Talk for the story. It says, according to an anonymous source who talked exclusively with the Daily Mail, Diddy once forced Cassie to get breast implants, then turned around and forced the doctor to take them out and do it again despite warnings that was unsafe. I actually reached out to a doctor friend of mine who says that that is not only not normal, it's unheard of in their professional opinion. Like, the person is just now starting to heal. There would need to be a reason that you would need to pull it out. They said that that might even cause infections. So it's ill-advised to redo an elective surgery within 1 week. The source says a witness. Sorry, do I have this up? A source says a witness. Oh, this is small. The sources say she was a witness to the entire ordeal involving Diddy, Cassie, and Dr. Frank Ryan, who did the augmentation in 2009. The source says when Diddy and Cassie first came to the consultation, Diddy talked the entire time. Usually the women tell the doctor what they want and the man is just supporting, but it was obvious that Diddy had full control. He wanted Cassie's bosom to be fuller because she was flat-chested. Cassie reportedly just sat there and allowed Diddy to make the plans. Then, the very next day after the procedure, Diddy called Dr. Ryan to express his dissatisfaction with the boob job. He claimed that they were too big and they needed to be fixed now. But Dr. Ryan insisted that it was way too early to fix it and they would have to wait 6 months. Diddy said it needed to be fixed now, despite Cassie being noticeably still in pain from the surgery. To me, watching this, it was just so cruel, so horrible. She was treated like a rat. It was literally like her voice was snatched and there was nothing she could do. That if she started standing up for herself, she'd be in trouble. Dr. Ryan eventually folded to the pressure and fixed the implants within the same week. The source said Dr. Ryan felt terrible for this, but he had no choice. The source claims Diddy didn't comfort her at all. She was just a doll. He felt bad for her. Cassie was not talking at all. She was crying, visibly traumatized. But she wasn't saying anything at all and just going along with whatever he said. Privately, Dr. Ryan told me this was mutilation, that I can't even believe this. He was saying, poor Cassie, this is awful. Y'all, I mean, it just seems to never really stop. At this point, it seems to literally never actually stop with Diddy. Let's see. I have another story that's going to be coming out. So we have like 2,400 people watching. We only got like 500 likes. Somebody asked me, why do I talk about likes? For those people who have a YouTube channel or are new to YouTube, those likes are just a way that lets YouTube know that you are here and engaging. So that's why you might hear YouTubers say, hey, hit the like button. It's a free way to support the channel. So somebody asked me, so I'm not one of those people who won't like answer questions. I do get in the chat and talk to you guys. There was something else. I want you guys to hear a little bit more of this, but I don't want to show it. You tell me, because Fabulous is not my favorite person, but you could tell Fabulous definitely did not want to be here as this was going on.
We partied for my birthday before. You came to my party.
No, but me and you ain't never really party. You know what I'm saying? Eyes, brother.
Oh,
eyes. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So check this out. It's me, Tyrese, Ray J, and F. Gary Gray. I'm a type of nigga. I like variety, man. I like people that's unpredictable. You know what I'm saying?
I bet you do.
I like different personalities. So I was like, I never knew they would become what they are today. But you know what I'm saying? They're like, that sounded like the type of night I want to have in Vegas. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. So
what type of night might that be, Diddy? What type of night do you want to have in Vegas?
It's a fight. This is a Floyd fight, right?
Yeah. And Tyrese keep on talking about like how you got to get back for church. And we just like, the night ain't start. You got to get back for church. We in motherfucking Vegas, nigga. Like, you can go to church next week. You know what I'm saying? Sending your thing. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing, but we in Vegas. Don't be bringing God into this thing. Don't bring God into this situation. You know what I'm saying? F. Gary Gray is like, nigga, shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Ray J. So Ray J is like just really like feeling like Ray J right now. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know what that means. It's just feeling like Ray J right now. Like, was this after like a dinner?
Don't do that.
Yeah, that's what I said. That's why I said let me pick it up.
That's why I said
Let me pick it up from right there.
Fab was super uncomfortable. Let me tell you guys, I actually don't mind Fab being uncomfortable because Fab is not one of my favorite people. I'm not a big fan of anybody who puts their hands on women. And after I saw that video of what he had done to his baby mama, Emily, I can't get with it. Let me see. There was one other video that I wanted you guys to see. Let's see. This is a channel that I want you guys to see this. He talked about not wanting to go to a certain person's party, but they definitely did not. I'll show you guys on the next video. Anyway, I'm gonna show you guys on the next video. Oh, we got a couple super chats. Naughty Love Movements. Pandora's box is wide open. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you, Naughty. K Bragg says, what type of devilish was Diddy doing that sent Tyrese running to the altar? Hadn't thought of it like that. I definitely had not thought of it like that per se. I want you guys to see this because this guy said he was one of the things he was warned about was a certain type of party not to go to. And Waka Flocka is just having like the best time with this. Like the guy is uncomfortable, but Waka is, let's see, is it a recent one? I'll find it and I'll show you on another video. This something happened today. Oh, is Really Be Still Alive? If y'all know Bishop Whitehead, he like body shamed Really B and went off on her. If you don't know, Bishop Whitehead was that guy who got robbed and we found out something was shady about him. Well, he body shamed one of my YouTube buddies, Really B, and I think she might be talking about it right now. Let me see. Oh, she is talking about it right now. So if you want to, my live is about to end, but I'm about to go over there. So I'm gonna drop the link to Really B's channel if you guys want to go check that out and see what she's talking about. But I mean, if you're just doing your job, why would you feel it's comfortable to body shame? Have y'all seen Bishop Whitehead? He's not like oh, opinionated. Thank you so much for the super not the super chat. They sent me a Cash App. I thank you. I really do appreciate that. Let me drop this link really quick for you guys. And if you go down there, let her know Mim sent you. I'll be over there too. Let me go to my video. Again, this is Really B's channel and Bishop Whitehead body shamed her. I don't know any ladies or gentlemen into Bishop Whitehead. Y'all think he's I dropped the link. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. There is another scandal of abuse that I'm going to talk about a little bit later, and it involves Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So once I get, I got family stuff to do. My mom is asking me to do some shopping, but I will definitely bring that to you guys today as well. And my Married to Medicine recap. It's too busy, too much going on. Have a good day, y'all.